Hi, I'm Caitlin, and this is Book Chats. Today's Top 5 Wednesday is Top 5 Bookish Habits. Top 5 Wednesday was started by the awesome Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey. I will put a link to her videos in the description, as well as a link to a group that has a list of all of the Top 5 Wednesday participants. This Wednesday's topic is the kind of habits that we have related to our reading. I really had a hard time thinking about this. I don't think it's because I don't have bookish habits, it's because I think that I'm pretty unaware of them. Bookish habit number 5 is actually kind of two related things, and it's related to libraries and how I use them. When I'm kind of window shopping for books online, I just feel like an urge to buy books, but I can't. What I do instead is I go to the library website and I kind of like act like the library is my kind of bookstore and request a bunch of books, and then I cannot remember the last time I actually entered a library and then exited empty-handed. So even if I'm not checking out a book, I'm like perusing the sale racks, or even if I don't have something reserved, I'm perusing the new arrivals. I just have a really hard time going to a library and not leaving with books in my hands, and not just one book, but many books. My fourth bookish habit is kind of a weird one, but it's one that I share with some other people in my life. And it is that I read in the bathroom. So not in like public bathrooms, but when I'm home, I will often bring a book with me, or I will have some books that just stay in the bathroom, and I will pick them up. I just picked this up from my dad. He's a huge bathroom reader. I remember some lectures my mom gave me as a child about how I should not spend so much time reading in bathrooms, and I try to cut it down to like limiting myself, but yeah. And I am definitely not the only person who bathroom reads, or the people even that I know, because there are actually books you can buy that are bathroom readers. If you also read in the bathroom and are willing to admit it on the internet, let me know in the comments. We can band together. My bookish habit number 3 is that I'm almost always reading 3 or more books at once. I don't know exactly how I got into this habit. I've always read kind of multiple books at once and held multiple storylines kind of distinct in my head. When I was younger, it was always like in hard copies of books, but of course now it is likely that I will be reading at least one book in each of the 3 formats I commonly read at once. So my bookish habit number 2 is using things other than bookmarks to mark my place in my books. So I actually brought examples of this. So these actually just have like random paper, and actually I have random paper and bookmark in this one because I wanted to like write quotes from things that I liked on this random paper. This is the paper that they used to tell me this is a book that I had on hold at the library. I've used other weird things too, like as I mentioned, sometimes I read in the bathroom, and so toilet paper becomes a clean toilet paper becomes a common bookmark. Ticket stubs often will be bookmarks for me. It's basically like I can't be bothered. This is just random paper again. In Text from Jane Eyre. So I basically just can't be bothered to use normal bookmarks and keep track of them. I have a small stash of bookmarks right now actually, but it's because I'm giving them away to my friends when they complete their Goodreads challenges. So I like almost never use bookmarks. I almost always use something else, and it's always like, see, this I've used as, this is a Metro card from New York. You can tell I've used it as a bookmark because it has like little lines that I like from the book scribbled all over it. That's like a super logical thing to use, but I have used almost anything that will fit in a book and not break its spine. And the number 1 bookish habit that I have is actually that I write in my books. Clearly I get a ton of books from the library. More than 50% of the books I read in a year are from the library, so I can't write in those, and that's why sometimes I write on my bookmarks instead. I kind of got hooked on writing in books because of 2 things. One of them is, of course, school. I had to write in books for school when I had to annotate things for class. And so that kind of got me started on like, oh, this is actually kind of interesting, and I like kind of commenting on things and all of that. And then I got a Kindle, and on my Kindle, it's really, so actually I'm gonna go grab it and show you. When I got my Kindle, it was actually when Kindle keyboards were still the standard. So it's a Kindle, it's now called a Kindle keyboard. Mine is the 3rd generation old Kindle. And it has a full QWERTY keyboard down here, and so I'll be like reading the book, and I won't just highlight things, but I'll be like, I'm going to write a comment or a question, and I do everything from like writing discussion questions for a discussion group that I used to run about Sir Francis Bacon's essays, to like guessing what's going to come up next, to like writing angry comments because I was mad at a book. Like, I just am so addicted to writing books, and even books that if I own a book, I'll often write in it. So here's one that I've written in, and I've circled things. You can see that. I've circled things, and I've underlined them, and I wrote kind of comments on different pages of what I was thinking when I was reading it. So I just like having that record, and especially if it's an ex-library copy, I feel super like it's okay to write in it. So I would love to hear, do you share any of the same bookish habits that I do, or are you appalled by some of my bookish habits? Please let me know by commenting down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm going to warn you that this is probably the last time you will see anything other than library books on my bookshelf. And actually, I might be getting rid of my bookshelf in the next week because I am moving in less than a month. And so I have boxes just sitting over there waiting to receive all of these books so I can ship them home. I will see you next time, and thanks for watching. Bye!